No, thank you very much. Yes, we're at the end of day one of the Presidential Social Sector Summit, arguably one of the most important summits for the year. You'd recall the President made a commitment earlier in the year and indicated that we will have a social compact. So this is building towards the overall social compact that we would want to have. Of course, today and tomorrow only focuses on the partnership and strengthening the bonds between civil society and government, and the interface between civil society and government. So this is what we're doing, and of course we will build further. We've invited members of business, members of labor, members of academia and other sectors which are important, and so they are part of the discussions today. We're at the end of day one, and I can confidently say that everything went off well. We had 5 commissions. Within the Resource Mobilization Commission, this was one of the most important commissions, and a lot of discussions around how we should be distributing resources towards civil society organizations, particularly in a much more transformational manner, much more equitable manner. There was been a serious call for us to support emerging civil society organizations. I thought that was quite a very important discussion, and of course there are also calls for us to find a better way of distributing resources to members of civil society. And of course we also had another commission on transformation and job creation, again a very important commission, and one of the key things that came out of that commission is that civil society is beginning to say we don't want to be seen as volunteers or charity cases, but they're saying that they want to be seen as contributors towards job creation and economic empowerment. But they need to be empowered to be able to do that. And I think that that was a very interesting call, a very sound call for us to be able to assist them, to be able to mobilize society, as it were, towards economic development, and more so within the context of job creation, and focusing largely on women-led entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurship, youth entrepreneurship, which I thought was a very important point. Of course, discussions around capacity building as well. There's been serious calls for us to better utilize the resources that we have as government, particularly through the CETAs and a number of other institutions around capacity building for CSOs. And so this was a call that was made. And of course, there's some discussions around the regulatory framework as well. Really looking at the kind of policy interventions that need to be made within the existing policy and also new policy. So the entire policy and legislative environment, there are a lot of discussions around that as well. And lastly, there were discussions around community development, which I also felt were quite lively and quite interactive. So members of civil society are really saying that we want to be able to be empowered to empower communities, so that communities can take a stand around the challenges that they face within the context of their communities. This includes social ills and a range of other challenges that communities face. So they were saying that they want to be able to rally members of communities, whether it's community leaders, it's youth formations, it's various formations within communities, to be able to assist in terms of building social cohesion, as well as contributing towards development on the whole. And so I thought that those are fascinating discussions, and of course we wrapped up day one with all the various commissions today. Tomorrow we're expecting President Ramaphosa, of course, to close the summit, and we're expecting some philanthropies and different sectors of society, of civil society, to also make a number of contributions. I'm told that there are people who are going to pledge even financial support towards strengthening CSOs, which I think is very good. But also we will culminate once the President has concluded closing the session. We will end off with an agreement which is being signed between government and civil society, which I think a framework agreement, and this framework agreement will chart the way forward in terms of what do we do next, how do we manage much better in terms of these five thematic areas, as it were. We're looking forward to strengthening the interface between civil society and government through this framework agreement, which we will begin to implement moving forward. So far so good. We're looking forward to day 2. Thank you very much.